All right. We live. We live. Okay. Um, if this is gonna be for my replay gang, I know everybody's probably sleeping. It's Thursday evening, 11:16. I gave a little minute to try to see if anyone's gonna come in. I hope that y'all have heard. If not, girl, your baby sample. Okay, the sample is out now. I am gonna be a recording artist. Okay. I'm gonna add that to my resume, and I'm gonna be doing country as well. I got a country track, and that's probably gonna end up being for Strong Mommy Chrissy. I have a track that you hear, "Girl, Your Baby," Live, Love, Live, or Lives Life. That's her track. So this is gonna be specific mommy sector CD. Okay, it's gonna be a playlist, and I'm gonna be working on it all year. By December, hopefully it'll be done, and maybe I could get it, ready for purchase. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about it, and we'll get started with the reaction. Now, let me say this: I'm not sure about StreamYard. Give me some time to learn StreamYard, and let me get out of this. How do you get out of this? I can see if anyone's in the building when they come in. So let me get this off. I'm not technically savvy, so please forgive me. And before I did this, maybe I should have really learned how to do it, but that's okay. That's okay. So this will be for the replay gang on YouTube. I think StreamYard does not. It's not going to record this because it's a free stream. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what they do. So anyway, welcome to the channel, Chandra Power, aka Bossy. And you know what? This has been a channel of many, many names. And this is going to be the permanent name. We are the Phoenix fam over here. Whatever people throw at us, particularly people who are narcissistic, throw it in our way, we are going to move it out the way and get busy and live our life the way we should live it. Okay? In peace and in happiness. And let me be honest, I haven't been very peaceful on the YouTube streets, especially not in 2023. 2024, I've been kind of peaceful. Okay. I've been trying to think about my direction I want to take on YouTube. I'm really kind of in a love-hate relationship with YouTube. So and social media in general, I think people are just it's too much ignorance online, and it's not going to change. We just have to kind of weed out the bad seed, okay? And try to preserve the good ones and try to get what we can out of people and their goodness. If there's any left to squeeze out of people, we definitely need to do that, okay? So I have a lot to do in the morning, so I'm just going to be about 30 minutes at least. And if it runs over, there'll be a bonus. If anyone wants to come in and chat, I'm going to learn how to drop the link and we can chat it up, because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm seeing a lot of silly behavior, and it's really kind of frustrating. Particularly, I want to talk about how I'm going to divide my live streams. The format is in chapters because I'm used to working with chapters a lot. So, chapter one tonight is basically going to be based about my jazzy life. So, my jazzy life is someone who I thought she had potential in the beginning. When I first came into the sector, I was wondering why everybody was getting on her butt. Then I started to look. I started to really pay attention. And then I was really upset with her. Not hating her, but very frustrated that she has the opportunity to do a lot with these kids, particularly her special needs kids, which a lot of people may think that it's a lot. It's a lot of people who are disabled. They need special attention. Your children need special attention. So when I looked at Jazzy's channel, I was really kind of upset. And now I realize now, because I am into narcissism, I do kind of pay attention to signs. I do notice it in her more, especially at tax time. So last year, as we know, she was in the dumps. This was right after Chris had left her. And, like I said in the reaction video, if you've seen it, she pretended like everything was okay. Faking it till she make it. And this is a pattern that all these moms do that really is frustrating. I think they would be a lot further if they kept it real. And sometimes keeping it real kind of keeps people away because there's some people in this environment and community that do not like the truth. They don't like the truth. Okay, so with that being said, let me point out what I just noticed, just wrapping it up for the day, because I do want to get out of here by midnight. I have this thing where I was talking to my sister about the Wendy Williams documentary. We'll get back to jazz in a minute. And my sister was like, she been seeing a lot of people talking about karma and Wendy Williams, and now she's broke. I hear she's broke, but I haven't really delved into it and fact checked it for myself. But it's devastating. It's devastating, especially when you have other celebrities, like my sister did mention someone. She said it was not Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters was not gossip, but she did ask personal questions. I'm talking about Joan Rivers. So me and my sister talked about Joan Rivers, and she was kind of a gossip queen. And maybe she had some people to spite her, but basically she was very loved. And when she passed and got sick, she was very much surrounded by love. And it seemed like Wendy is totally not surrounded by the people who need to love her. So I just want to mention that tonight. It gave me a lot of thought about. It's funny how people can do the same exact thing and get a lot of vindictiveness from people versus another person who did the exact same thing, but get all the love and adoration. So I just want to point that out. That was just something that I just thought about. We had a good little conversation after. She was really shocked and hurt, which a lot of people are with Wendy Williams' situation. So I want to point that out. I had seen that about 7 days ago, maybe a week ago, on Lifetime. And, I have Roku all around my house. I stopped paying for cable. That was one of the things I wanted to cut out on my budget. So I did that. And so far it's working out good. So with that being said, okay, so chapter 1, My Jazzy Life. I told you I would do a book on my jazzy life. Tongue in cheek, just playing around. Not really a book, but just pointing out that she's working out a lot. So, in my opinion, and she's a villain, okay? I'm sorry to say it, she is a villain in the sector. In the mommy sector, my jazzy life is one of the biggest villains. And in my opinion, she's one of the most attractive. And what I mean by attractive, not in looks or nothing. I'm not trying to dog her out. I'm talking about attractive to people, toward her family, toward her storylines. She gets the most, opinions from people. She gets the most eyes looked at her. Her family also gets a lot of eyes and comments. So she's one of the most popular moms in the sector, even above Strong Mommy Chrissy, in my opinion, because Strong Mommy Chrissy fronts too much. Too much. So much that you be like, please keep it real for just a second, please. Please keep it real. So I tried to watch Strong Mommy Chrissy and give a quick little synopsis of what was going on in her videos. She did a Sam's Club haul, and that's appropriate for a family of her size to go to Sam's, which is good. But I did not watch the shopping spree, which we need to do that together. I'd rather do that. When I learn how to operate StreamYard better, and I need to upgrade my plan again, we can probably do that. Because I don't know if we can do it on the free stream. I don't know if we can do that. So we'll do that. And we'll get it popping, okay? So let's see. Let's go back to my jazzy life just for a second. I got really kind of pissed off when I really realized a lot of people was pointing out that she has not spent money on kids. And Jazz, what's wrong with Jazz is that she don't believe in God, or she has no faith in God. Now I can't really put a jacket on her of how she really feels because I don't know Jazz, but my perception is that she has little faith in God, and she depends a whole lot on getting money, and she'll do whatever she has to do to get it. So her moral compass is just, there is none. So and she don't realize people who give, they receive even better fortune. Believe it or not. I remember a few months ago when I moved in this house, when you buy a house, you have a lot of earnest money and stuff. Everything got to get paid, and you have all these, inspection fees on the house and stuff. I was like, oh, single parenthood is hard. And when bills was getting due, everything was getting due and ready to get handled. I mean, I was like pulling out of every account I could think of and thinking about options that I need. I didn't want to dig into the important account for my retirement, but somehow, I don't know how it happened. That whole period was a blur. But all I remember saying was, "This, my situation has to change." And if Jazz really sit down and think about it, instead of working herself like a workhorse, and prioritize her time better, because I noticed she was really overwhelmed with laundry again. Okay, and that's something that we touched on in the sector. A lot of people have told her your time management is so important. And she mentioned in one of her videos tonight, and we'll go over those videos. It's taking me a little while to record, and on my iPhone and everything. So, but we'll get to that. So she mentioned that she had a lot of laundry, and then she said that she couldn't get to all her messages. People are sending her messages. When you are growing, and I know that she has a new subscriber count, so she's up to 58. She's almost at 60 now. I guess people are really liking her workouts. She's been real consistent on that. I will give her points on that. But what I won't do is give her points for being a great parent, because the more we say cut Legendary's hair, the more she books. And I think that is a thing that she's doing. She knows what people are saying. She watches videos, I'm sure, but she refuses. She refuses to get that boy a haircut to look decent. Because back in the day, I remember people used to bring their kids to J.C. Penney. I know I did with both of my kids. They have plenty of pictures. And I know she videos on YouTube, so she have memories as well to look back on. But she should have portraits taken of her kids, because sometimes video could get destroyed or something could happen to uploads or whatever. But she'll have those pictures in a catalog or photo carrier or whatever. I forgot the name of that, God. But she'll have that. It's my point to look at. So I don't understand why her waiting on Chris, like we said, Chris is extremely narcissistic. He reminds me a lot of how I have an experience with that. I'll just say it like that. So I know the type of man he is. Hell, I'm a victim myself. I'm in the same situation. Single parenthood happens to a lot of people. But the point of the matter is, you have to pick yourself up and you got to keep going. Because when you keep yourself busy, and she's keeping herself busy, the problem is, though, I'm really concerned about her mental health. It don't seem like she's coping well with being alone with the baby. I think she's shocked. I think she can't believe that she's in a situation. But because she don't want to take criticism, and sometimes it can be a little extreme criticism, I'm going to admit that. But she didn't listen to a lot of people, and even people in her own life, like her mother. She even fought her mother publicly. So her moral compass is totally out the window for Chris. And Chris don't care. He's never gonna care. He didn't care from the beginning. Chris has never been someone who cares about people, and that's just the thing about narcs. Narcissists, no matter what type they are, there's no feelings, there's no empathy. They don't even think about consequences. They just do. They do it and get immediate gratification from what they do. They hurt you, and sometimes they even laugh and they get a thrill, and they call you stupid. They look at you and call you dumb. Just like when we remember that video when Jazz had recorded, she did a live and she went to the bathroom, and the live was not silent. It was not muted. Chris was waiting on her to get back, and he was calling her all kind of names, silly and stupid and stuff. Well, that's just really how it really is. And the fact that she looked at that video and was still in denial, it's funny how those blinders get put on people so well. People don't see the sign. They're totally in love. They're totally blind. And all these little sayings now, at my age now, I'm 48 now. I think about that. I think about people who say love is blind, or God don't like ugly, or God don't bless no mess, or God bless the child that has his own. All these things that people say is so true, literally, when you really think about it. I mean, these are all little sayings that we all know. We've all heard a million times, probably from people. And that's why I keep things on my wall to remind me, whatever success I get, because, I've had a lot of bad luck with men in my experience. So when I came to the sector, I mean, I had the hurt in me. Obviously, I probably do still have the hurt, but I did get therapy somewhat through my college courses. I was taking all these courses. So the way Jazz is exercising, like losing all this weight and stuff, doing what she needs to do to try to forget about Chris, what I did instead was go into classes and started paying for little elective classes until I got a degree. So the year that the devastating event happened, which is January, by December, they was ready to give me a degree, which is great. I'm like, oh, I took all these classes. I took law classes. I took all kinds of classes, psychology, sociology classes, abnormal psych. Then I got into studying serial killers, and I just learned about their history. Why do they act this way? And amazingly, I did that after my accident. And I don't know if I even discussed that on my channel yet. I might even do it on a new channel. But, people need so much guidance in navigating the world when they're trying to look for relationships. I think that's so important to share your story. And people don't like it. People like to just stick to the reactions. Well, this channel, I try to stick with reactions, but I just can't help myself. The experience people have must be shared, especially if it's going to save a life or it's going to save somebody some heartache. And that's just where I'm coming from. And if I'm harsh, that's why I try to remind myself, be nice. I've even had a compliment. Oh, I'm so nice. I'm the nicest reactor. So that's where I got it from. And I kind of remind myself, if I was videotaping myself, which I never would do in my real life, really, I mean, I've done it, but not to the capacity where Jazz and them is doing. So that being said, I just had to come on here and let me say to my 453 subscribers that my deepest apologies for not coming live. I know I did that a year ago. I came live when I first started. I was so excited about the sector. And then, you know what? I started getting recommendations on previous people in the sector, like from years ago. And it's so funny because, what prompted that? I think other people was digging too. And maybe the algorithm threw those videos back into the system. And I started getting all these old reaction channels, videos pop up. And we call them OGs in the sector. All of them started coming up. All their old videos that they collab with each other, what they said, the mess that was stirred up. So everybody comes from a place of a little bit of discombobulation. So I don't feel that bad about when I cut up back in the day, But now I'm ready to move on. I'm ready for more growth. But what I'm not gonna do is pay subs. I'm not gonna go into the background and try to be sneaky. I'm just not that person. I'm not a socialite. I did not join no sorority in college. I was just by myself. I was a bookworm. I like to read, and I might have came off a little bit arrogant when I first came into the sector. So I do certain things I look at, and I'm like, there are ramifications for your actions, and when you um say, you know what, I did that, and I'm gonna take accountability. That's when it matters to people when you do that. So, those three mommies, my Jazzy Life and Strong Mommy Chrissy, and I put Strong Mommy Chrissy because let me tell you what I noticed about her video. When she did her video, one of the videos was a Valentine's Day recap. She had some old footage, and so she had some Valentine's Day videos she posted. And I noticed how her daughters was looking at her. And then they looked at each other when she was videoing them, telling the camera that they had strep throat. And I cringed a little bit because, gosh, when you're that age, who wants you? You don't want people in your business. So your mom's sitting on a live or not a live, a pre-recorded video she uploads to the internet for people to know that they're sick with strep throat. I don't know. That could be a potential source of teasing at school. I don't know. I mean, it's just people are different from back in the day. I mean, they still tease people. I mean, people still did a lot of self-harm. They still drugs. I mean, the things that happen now happened back then. But it's like the internet makes everything just so out there. Kids just cannot avoid the toxic stuff. Okay, they can't avoid the truth. You're gonna have to tell them as parents. That's why it's so important now that the mommy sector not just be a place of bashing these moms, which is funny because they deserve it. Sometimes they act like little assholes. They're very condescending, and you give them what they deserve. In a way, but they don't care. Yeah, you did let you know they don't care. They're gonna do what they want to do. Fine, do what you want to do. We'll just talk about what you're doing, and we'll just shake our head. Some of us have experienced a lot of heartache. And when it comes to Strong Mommy Chrissy and her miscarriage, some people think it's a lot more than that. My opinion, I don't know what it was. I don't know. I mean, now she's conducting herself like, everything's great and she's posting regular. So to me, my perception is it was just a part of the content. Now, if she really did lose her baby, my condolences, because I would never want to sound like an asshole. I've sounded like an asshole so many times, and I don't want to sound like that, especially not in this situation. So that's that on that. And one thing we got to remember is people are just going to be people. People have a lot of experiences that they take with them. That's why I want to advocate for kids when I'm in the sector. And I've said this before, it's not even about them. I don't care they date all these men. But the fact that you bring these strangers in your house and you have daughters and sons, even your sons are not safe, you need to think about that before you think about yourself. The problem is these women are selfish. I mean, purely selfish to the point where you can probably call them narcissists, especially Liv. I know for a fact that she is. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean. I thought about this the other day when I was doing a reaction on her. Now, people was like, she was in her car spilling out the beans, doing her thing. One thing narcissists love to do is have sympathy. Play the sympathy card. That's what they do. That's their grind. They stand on brand statue and do this. So people can look down and say, "Oh, you poor thing," but they forget all the stuff that they do to hurt people. All the stuff. Rod is not. He's not responding to her aggressively, or he's not responding to her for no reason. The way he responds to her, and people who bash Gerard Well, guess what? We don't know the full story. And because she lies so much, why would you even take a grain of what she's saying that's the truth? We've busted her in lies. And to be honest with you, because I care so much about her kids and how she's affecting her kids with her narcissistic ways, I don't care if she gets busted out on her lies because it's harmful. She's teaching her kids deception. The same way I've met people in my real life who are deceitful. They've learned it from their mom. I know a mom and daughter when I first met. They were dire straits. Everybody had was behind on bills. And for sure, everybody was tired of this narcissist. When I stepped in as the empath, I was just a sitting duck. I was loaded. You know, I always worked hard. If you know me and my channel and you watch my videos, you know that I used to work in the medical field in the ICU. I was an ICU respiratory therapist. I made very, very good money. I worked in Houston for several years until I moved down here because, you know, I don't have no qualms. I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm from the South, Southeast Texas. Drove back and forth to Houston to work, pulled doubles. Sometimes I worked even 24 hours straight. So I'm not ashamed of working. I love to work. It gave me a lot of freedom. And I understood credit, but I was very reckless with my credit, especially when I was in love. I've done a lot of things for people. So being nice, trying to be friends. So I'm definitely a different person than I was back then, especially now since I got my sons. So I bring my experience to the sector and let them know, look, when they use you, when Chris came in Jasmine's life, he used her and he used all them kids. He used them. He took their food. He brought her to a furniture store, picked out furniture for himself. Because in my mind, when I saw that video when they were in Austin and they were touring Austin for the first time, I don't think Jazz ever saw Austin the way she did when she was with Chris. Chris knows Austin. Let me tell you something about the narcissists. When narcissists move to a new area, they network right away. They network and they find weakest links all around town and they set shop. They'll either go visit and meet people. They get phone numbers, hide them in the phone. They might hide the person name and put it like TNT. I'm sorry, a cable company name. You know, they'll do stuff. They'll do stuff that's gonna be deceptive, and they don't care. So when Chris came, I tried to ring the alarm like a lot of us did. That's why I can't be too mad at this sector. This sector have a lot of people who have been through some shit and they want to help and they want to sound the alarm. But none of these moms want to listen. Okay? But part of the problem is they are narcissistic themselves. And if they're not, they're very extremely selfish. Okay? They're very selfish. Now the good points about Straw Mommy Chrissy, she likes to make everything seem like she living. Straw Mommy Chris is someone who she's very, I would say manipulative. She's very sweet, but with that comes with a little manipulation in that tongue. She knows how to sweeten you up to get what she wants. And she likes to decorate herself. She's a decorator. She got some good, she knows how to speak. Even her speech is good compared to the other two moms. She's not, she has her ghetto moments, I'm sure. We all know that she does. But she knows how to be slick with it. Okay? And, that's just something that I think about. I say, this is someone who she would put a policy on one and sit there for many, many years and be happy that they don't know what she did. As long as she keep, making those nice little salmon dinners with lemon sprinkles and parsley flakes on it. And, she's going to make sure that, the picture is perfect. But in the background, the plan is being plotted. There's plots in the back. And she's going to keep it a secret. And she may even hate the person who she's catering to. And that's very psychotic of people to do that. I call that a psychotic uh response to relationships goals. And I watch this channel called Twisted Crimes a lot. A lot. I am very I'm not weird like this a lot, but I do, for some reason, I have an attraction to real stories, real crime stories. A lot of people just cannot believe the evil that exists. I'm one of those people. I can't believe the evil that exists, and how things can be unmasked in the blink of an eye. I mean, you live your whole life and think this person is an angel, but that one day that it just snaps. So, I mean, it's so important. This conversation that we have in these reactions is worthy to be seen. It's worthy to be seen. So I called Jazz the woman from Rooster's Place last year in 2023. She was real down and out. She had cried all her tears. She stayed up all night. And then she has legendary, okay, from the Department of the Bowser Division of Child Custody. He is definitely on 10 when he wants to be. I can tell, and that's just a signature sign that he's just not being raised right in the discipline department. Because a disciplined child in it too, they know they're still a terrible two, but they have their limits. Okay, there's no tantrums on the floor. And if she had stopped that behavior with him tantrums on the floor and him crying, and he probably throws stuff off camera, keeps her really busy. She's wearing herself out. And Jazz has no patience. She will snap. That's the problem. And I think Phil understands that. He's been with her a long time. So that's why he can shoulder the burden of them kids. And I'm not calling them burdens. Kids are not burdens, in my opinion, unless you're having them unplanned. If you plan on having kids, people need to understand that they are a job, but they are humans. And they need to learn. And they need to learn proper manners, proper etiquette. And while you're at it, teach them finances, them read. And these people on the internet, they lack that because they're so enamored with cameras and MacBooks and all this stuff. They're so obsessed. There's a point where you have to say, I'm going to log off, and I'll probably stay off for a week or a month. But if you're getting paid off the internet, it's so crucial to still have your boundaries in place. Because if you don't, you end up like these women who bring a storyline after storyline into the mix, okay? They bring storyline after storyline of lies that people get frustrated because you're trying to entice your audience, but you're being deceitful. You want to be fooled all the time, okay? All right, so let me take a sip of my drink. If you're in the replay and you're watching this, I appreciate the support of watching my videos. I don't care if there's 3 people watch it. Eventually, it all just goes into the pile. Time passes, it gets older, and then there's new things that come about. I just want to be blessed one day to be able to reach somebody who might need to hear the message that I'm sending. So, anyway, I'm trying not to cough. I'm not sick, but for some reason, every time I do this kind of stuff, then here comes a tickling in my throat. But anyway, so I'm learning how to do StreamYard, guys. So give me a minute to upload videos, and then we can have reactions, and maybe we'll have some audience participation in the future when I start doing this on a regular basis. And just a few more notes I want to go over before we log off. I want to kind of get off before midnight. Hopefully y'all can see this in the replay. I'll check and see. StreamYard itself is not going to save it, it says. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I thought they do save the YouTube videos, so whatever. Okay, so we got no shopping for the kids on tax time. Tax time is like Christmas for Jazzy. And that's true. Jazz is a big kid in the electronics store. She paid for her finally. So guess what? And you know what really kind of like ticked me off is like she left her camera at her mom's house. Why? Why would you do that? And you let the audience know. I think she does things to piss people off. So the thing that she gets from people, she kind of asks for it. Like she wants to smoke, okay, undercover, because this is the camera you put on a shopping list for everybody to try to pay for. Okay, earlier in the year, last year, people, it was a big headline, and you didn't care. You had it on there. You probably had a few more things. I don't remember what you had, but then you're gonna forget it. You forget it. How do you forget something that's $800? Something you've been crying about for months. Something that Chris said, hell no, he'll never do for you. But the people said no as well. Because Jazz, and she's so oblivious to people's plight. That's why she's very selfish. And I've heard somebody even call her a narcissist. They mentioned, oh, she's narcissistic. And I had to think about that. Well, yeah. Because if you have kids and you claim to love them, and all you can do is think about what you're going to, even having a belly ring. Did you really need that? You're almost 40 years old. Do you need a belly ring? No. I mean, but did I need to make a rap at 48 years old? No, but it's YouTube, it's entertainment, it's internet. But do I plan to try to make something happen? Hell, Risa Tisa did. She made something happen. She ended up on the morning show, CBS morning show. So you never know when is your time. Whatever you do it with your full heart and do it like you mean it. And I really mean it. So as y'all can see, Girl Your Baby sample is out now on video. And I did it to be kind of funny as well. But to be seriously, Liv is someone who, y'all know I have despised Liv, because for sure, Liv is definitely a narcissist, okay? The way she did Gerard, I will never forget the way she did Gerard. And people should understand that Gerard pays for a lot of stuff, and she don't pour her weight. She don't pour her weight. When you have a house, the bigger the bills. Believe it. Okay? If you have 2 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, your water bill might be a little bit more expensive than everybody else's who have a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, and that everybody know that I mean that's what makes sense to us, but to them, no, it don't make no sense. They are just big. They don't care how people are living. They don't care. They're gonna get how they live the way Chris did. That's why I say there's something wrong in their thinking. Okay, there's something wrong, and at that age as well. And one thing else that's a real problem to me is why these women don't take their credit more seriously. I mean, don't you get tired of windmilling? I mean, Straw Mommy Christie said she bought a house. A lot of people don't believe it, including me now. I don't believe it. And you have such a big audience. Why wouldn't you tell people how you had overcame? You don't think there's women with 9, 10, 11 kids watching you that may be in an apartment or may want to buy a townhouse or want to buy something? You could tell them what program you use, since you don't mind telling your kids' diagnosis on camera when you bring them to the ER. Y'all don't care that y'all blast their date of birth out and record it. Y'all don't care if they're having seizures on camera. Y'all don't care if you record them crying behind a black screen when they get separated from their mom. Liv, I'll never forget that. You recorded that baby crying for you, heartbroken that her biological mom had to be separated from her. And you recorded it. You monetized it. Then turn around and lie and say you're not monetized now. Why do you think we are dumb? And a lot of people think I'm dumb. No, I'm just nice. I'm nice. I take people for their word, and then I just watch. I'm a person of very few words, actually, in my real life. I sit and watch. Because when you have disabled kids, I have adults now. I've done all the raising I could. but I have them in my possession because I don't want no one to hurt them, take advantage of them, exploit them. I'm not gonna do it. So no one else, and I brought them in the world. So damn sure nobody else can do it. Damn sure that's not gonna happen. So when I see that, I can't believe it. I'm like, and they don't get it. People try to, and they hear the videos. I know Strong Mommy Chrissy definitely watches the big reactors. The people who get the big numbers, she's gonna watch. And Liv, of course, she don't care, and she's gonna continue to bash Gerard until Gerard tells his attorney, maybe we should consider go ahead and putting a capious warrant on her. Capious warrants in Texas, they will arrest you, no matter where you're at, throw you in jail, and you need to pay a cash bond. They don't want no other thing. They want you to go in there and get that cold hard cash up in there, and let's go ahead and get it started. Now I don't know how they do it now since post COVID has happened, because this happened many years ago. My experience with that kind of situation, and trust me, when I was with my former deadbeat, I made sure he did that, because I didn't know he was behind so much on child support. He went to jail, and I told him, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. And he had to get his together, or we was not going to make it. And we didn't. We didn't make it. So, because he was a deadbeat, and I wasn't attracted to that. So I've had my own experience with deadbeats, and I'm tired of deadbeats. And I'm tired of women who are deadbeats as well. Men can get it, and women can get it. They can get the tongue lashing that they deserve. Take care of your kids. Period. Okay, so Jazz gave her mom Family Dollar or Dollar General birthday presents. I just can't. I just cannot. I cannot, because your mom does so much. Like what? What is wrong with her? I don't understand this. I don't get it. And Mama Dukes understands that maybe her child is slow, so Mama Dukes. What can she do with Jazz? She can't do nothing with Jazz. Okay. All she can do is, Mama Dukes also has her own skeletons that she has to be thinking about. Well, I did it, so my daughter doing it. She might think that's not a problem. But anyway, I don't know if I touched on everybody. I think I did. The three moms, it's basically a quick little update. Now, the actual videos, I did not look deep and analyze deep, but I do plan on doing that on the channel. So please be aware that is going to happen. So also, I just really like doing reactions. At first, I did not, because I did not want to be perceived as a bully. That's very important to me, that my message get out the right way. But of course, I call people sometimes when I get pissed off. Name bullfrog. I'll call you. And Jazz is a bullfrog. She's stubborn. Now I said she's a bullfrog. So that's what I call her. Now she don't care, because she said she don't care. So okay, you're gonna continue not to care, and you're gonna be an old woman with your kids hating your guts, not caring. Okay, so anyway, that is my time. I hope y'all can catch the replay. If there is a replay, I will make sure that I'll make sure and check after I lost. I'm gonna be watching a movie called Falling Down. I'm gonna try to find that. I love that movie. I don't know why, but I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm sorry about my phone. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch it before I go to bed. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I did over 30 minutes. So, when you start talking and talking, it's easy to lose track of time. So now I see why people can go 2 hours when they do live streams. So if y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we're going to analyze these ladies. When you start off watching them, you really start liking them, and then you start seeing all the deficits. You start seeing the reactions, and then you start to open your eyes a little bit wider. It's funny when you want people to do good and they do bad. It kind of pisses you off, because man, it's simple to fix and have a better life. It's just, are you willing to have your life be better? Or are you going to keep repeating these cycles that your kids can follow? I don't think people take parenting serious enough. And that's why we have a society full of craziness. That's why we have Donald Trump be president again. Oh, God. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that type of thing on this video right now. We're going to get to stuff like that. Remember, I do have other channels. You may see it pop up in the algorithm. I'm going to go live tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. I don't know. No, probably not tonight. I said I want to watch a movie on Bigo. Okay, I'll be doing Bigo lives too as well. So I want to get more of a social media presence. I'm not gonna get too crazy. It's not gonna be a lot of theatrics, but it may be. I mean, I'm trying to make my videos a little bit more funny. I'm glad that some people did get a key out of it because that's what it's all about. It's still social media, but sometimes you have to really look deep into what's really being presented, and sometimes you have to speak up. Truth tellers, one thing about a truth teller, oh no, people are not gonna like that. So anyway, that's my video. I'm gonna take this as a pre-record, and it's gonna upload to my channel. It's gonna be part of my live, my first live of 2024. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you consider subscribing, please do, and let me do the rest. I'm going to be working a little bit harder than I did last year. Of course, I have tons of videos you can watch. I have over 1K videos uploaded to YouTube on this channel. So if you want to get the history of where I come from, what I said, what I did, who I beefed with, which I didn't beef with a lot of people because people weren't beefing with me. They was letting me vent, whatever. And I'm not tripping on it. So go ahead and check out my previous videos. Share me out if you think I have something good to say or could teach someone else. And remember, I have a rap career now, okay? Girl Your Baby sample is out now, okay? So y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.